Today I am installing a doorknob on a slab panel door. That term comes from not having mortise hinges and the door is drilled out. So I'm gonna guess where the doorknob should go real quick and drill it out. Looking for the drill bit. Come out the other side. So that I can drill that side without busting through and creating damage. So I really didn't guess where the doorknob goes. There's a pile of tools all laying around. The time it took for me to find them and get them out. Put it all together, basically prearranged it so I can do it faster. So you drill the door hole with the template laid out, and then you put a door knob hole, I should say, and a certain size bit depending on what doorknob you got, I'm sure. And this is for your plunger. In the process of doing this, I try to calculate whatever tools and things I'm going to need to successfully complete it. On average, 99% of the time I get it right the first time. But I've been known to make mistakes too. Alright, so I had to drill about 1.25 inches thick through a solid piece of 2x yellow pine material, 1x or whatever. Okay, now basically I'm just doing this video because I'm bored and this one don't need a lock on it. Alright, I'm gonna put it on it, however it's not the right doorknob. Next step is going to be fixing the plunger. And from the tight it looks like to me, I'm gonna have to go to the old school style of making shit happen. Get in where you fit in. So, doing a doorknob install, every tool that you see me using is the ones I carry to do dozens, do the home trailer, whatever. So, it's just part of your category. Bottom line is you can do it with a lot less, or you can have much better things, different out of tools or whatever. I'm going this route. It looks like a pick. Hope the boss didn't see that. But making it fit is a thing. This is what I'm doing. Alright, so after you drill the two holes, one for the plunger, one for the doorknob housing itself, then you methodically lay out or draw this in the door closer housing. Once I get a replacement doorknob for that, it'll fit right back into the space I'm getting ready to create. This right so I can see. I prefer to have a wedge under the door that just keeps it from riding on me, but we'll do it like this. Take a utility knife and engrave your finest pencil or pen. I use a mechanical pencil or a ballpoint pen for this because the fatter the lead or the fatter the line, the more likely you are to make it too big and gaudy, where it isn't like crafted in place. It's more like just got lucky. And you know, these are all. But when you use a utility knife and cut a surface of this material you're getting ready to chisel against, it will keep it from cracking on out further. And then there's kind of a two-step process to that. You got the minute surface, what I would call it, not very deep. And then you take your chisel. I always use one smaller than what you're working with. Obviously, it's easier to work with. But I just go around the perimeter and take it a little bit deeper. And on such a slight taper that you can't even notice without busting the door apart. And then I usually start in a cheating things like that. Okay, the goal is to know how deep to make your moist recess. And so I can lay it like this, for example, on the side, the edge flat, and look at the thickness. And that'll tell me how deep this cutout needs to be. And if you're going to recess this to be flush mount like I am, this is a process to get there. Now, don't get me wrong. They make tools for people who do more of these apparently than I do. But for some reason I've always found it more fun to do it by hand. I don't know if it seems to get me closer to what I'm doing. Not to mention, I can't carry around so many tools, and I've already got more than I know what to do with it. Well, not to to deal with, keep up with. Alright, so I just continue manipulating the depth of this with the sharp chisel. And then I'll set it into place, check it. To make sure it's at minimal acceptable. And if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. I used to be jealous that there was Veterans Day and President's Day and this, that, and the other day, and kept noticing there's no such thing as, to the public that is, as Carpenter's Day or Drywaller's Day. Or, God bless the electrician that helps make it possible for us to video and or send and receive communication. But I realized that like Nurses Day is one day of the year, but for me, Carpenter's Day is every day when you successfully complete what you set out to do. Sorry, I'm holding my breath and talking to this and that and the other. But yeah, getting close. And slowing down is definitely the best way to get a clean job. And the goal is to set that piece in there the first time, honestly, and not have to pull it back out anymore. But believe me, it's taken me thousands of them to get to that point. Or at least a lot of hundreds. Yeah, it's supposed to fit flush with the door panel and the outside of the door closer and look aesthetically pleasing. Accept what I'm about to install at my house. So, and then it gets painted so it won't look quite as beautiful. Alright, I like to pre-drill my screw holes. To keep any thin material from splitting while the pressure of the screw expands it. Okay, so fact is, it's not bad making mistakes, bad not correcting. So I made a mistake here. The way the wood is, when you drill it, some of it's hard and some of it's soft. If you hit an edge of a hard piece, it can run the drill bit out of alignment. So to fix that problem, it's a mistake that I made that I have to fix. It's, just the way it is. Messed something up. So we'll take a piece of wood, real thin piece of wood, and fill that hole back in. But also create a pilot hole for the next drill out, which will be this one. So see the doors, the closes out of line, not straight up and down. So I've got to get it up and down even. And once this is said and done, no one's ever going to look at that close and say, oh, well, we didn't get it perfectly like straight up and down. But at the end of the day, I have to justify what I've done. And if I wasn't able to do something that I know is right and not make it right, then I feel like I've done wrong. And I'm still wrong. It's horrible. So again, necessarily, even no matter how much experience you have, where you just walk up and instantly do something perfect every time. And this is the thing that you don't see going on. So you make something right. So as I pointed out, there's a vein of hard pine in the immediate area that I'm trying to fasten into. Just making screw offset challenge to install this perfect on a video. So depending on what door, moving right along. Okay. So once that's done and the nightmare is over, you install your doorknob closer. Man, it's hot. It's hot as fire in here. Oh, the temperature's right. Okay, so the no-no is a lock on a closet door because it serves no purpose. The real answer is this ain't going too good. Lord. Two screws holding two doorknob housing pieces together. I always recommend a straight screwdriver, regular handheld screwdriver, rather than using a screw gun unless you want to deal with some cross-threaded screws that pretty much create an impossibility to fix. You won't spend a lot of time on it. Like I said, I recommend running these in with a regular screwdriver. At least getting them started, to thread at least 5 or 6 turns. That's more fair to say, because honestly, I'd rather just use my cordless. Run them up gentle. That saves you 100 twists or so. Then adjust the knob to tightness. Finish it with a screwdriver itself. Of course, I didn't check the door knob, see if it worked before I did it. Second part of the door is checking your margin or reveal all the way around to determine the layout for your strike plate. And what I understand to be a strike plate is the metal strip that goes onto the door frame that your actual door closer latches to. So, okay, some math to do. Alright, so I'm going to measure again on the door to get somewhat even reveal. So we'll call it a 1/2 inch. So to do the layout to start this piece with will be overhang a 1/2 inch and find the center, which appears to be roughly 1 1/8. So if I were to pull 1 1/8 inch into the door strike zone, 1 1/8, that should be the edge of the hole that I'll have to pre-drill. I've modified it to 1 inch to allow for any the layout for the depth was established. Now we just got to establish the center, and that will justify the center of the strike, so that when we drill a hole, it will be exactly where it should be. And I just square it over and go, and pull it back down to that. And that should be the edge in the center of the strike plate. So, with this, I'll establish 2 things. We're going to drill a hole for the plunger to go into, and where to mortise strike plate so it recesses into the door frame itself. Now, I do have to make a determination if it needs to be recessed or not, because these are the design is like rustic, historic, square, pine, something, whatever. And whatever looks better to fit the decor. Like I said, I think there is, I'm pretty sure there is tools that you can buy, but because I have universal tools, basically, because I have universal tools, I just incorporate them as needed versus not having room to store and keep up with all the little things that specialize in tools. I'm not really into self-video or whatever. If someone had asked me to make some videos of what I do, and I told them it's hard enough doing the job I'm supposed to be doing. Need like a camera crew or something to deal with all the footage and all that. I can't not be a productive worker. See, this might not be my best angle. I ain't got time for it. Don't care. I'm chilling out. The door plunger. Hole. Now I'm gonna pre-drill. Big screw holes. And establish. Yeah, I probably should have brought them up. But stuff to make it easier. One thing you always do have to cut out a little deeper is the lip. school about 35 years ago, roughly. And when I was a teenager, when I was there, we were assigned jobs, shop work, just practicing carpentry work. We had all the essential carpentry hand tools to choose from and to share. It's a lot of students coming on every day. But we would get into competition on using the hand chisels and blocks of wood and the board to carve out different like objects, just whatever, just big bold and silly. And I didn't really think of it as work. It's something to do. That was, useful for skills and stuff. On that subject, that's pretty good. So I want to carve that. I know it seems like, oh, this takes me long. I want to carve that lip. I'm not very familiar with what I'm doing. I want to carve the lip to where the edge of the stripe plate recesses into the face of the door, and that makes it aesthetically pleasing. I've always been a firm believer it takes a certain amount of time to do anything. You can go faster, you can go slower, you can stop, separate, come back to it. But really, it takes time to do what you do to get it right the first time. That's how I like to do it. So the reveal is going to be even around the perimeter of this. Someone else made this door frame. I was just brought in on the door and close it itself. Then to finish it, there need to be a stop installed there once the door's closed. But as far as that goes, other than paint and that detail, that's it. So this is the tools, of course in a Cheetos, but this is the tools that it would take to do what I just did.